There are people born in this world with a sensitized nervous system. Some of them are naturally more intuitive than others, and they feel the emotions of others vividly but silently. These are their dilemmas. So Rachel is unsure of the intentions of the man who says he loves her. So we have Rachel, who is a life code 7, okay, and we have the ex-fiance, who is a life code 4, and we have his ex-wife, who is a life code 3. So ex-fiance, we'll discover as to why he is the ex-fiance in a moment.
Welcome to the Sensitive Mind Show.
Your purpose in life as a sensitive is to experience the deeper parts of the mind, to move beyond fear and to manage your energy, no matter the circumstance. I'm going to show you, as a sensitive, how you can maximize your talents and feel comfortable in your own skin. For show notes and to join the conversation, visit heidisawyer.com/mind.
Let's have a look and see what Rachel has told us. So I have been dating this man back and forth for over 3 years. We got engaged in 2015. We were supposed to be married 14th February 2017, but after I caught him cheating and reported it to the church, he went and married someone else out of spite, then came back saying he still loves me. So what's the problem this situation creates? He keeps coming back saying he loves me, that he's very unhappy and wants to be with me, but then accuses me of being the reason why we're not together and goes back to his ex-wife, which has me very confused and frustrated. So the question that Rachel wants me to answer is, are we going to get back together and stay together forever? Okay, so Rachel wants to know if she can trust this man and if there really is a future with him. Okay, so now we have a life code 7, life code 4 and a life code 3 as these kind of dynamics. Okay, so what do we have in relation to a life code 7, an aware life code 7 and unaware life code 4 in terms of a love relationship? Well, the life code 7 is very much going to be about the emotions, about that sense of connection. So even if a relationship isn't right, they will feel a strong pull to stay within it if it feels emotionally right is probably the wrong word, but emotionally charging, as in sort of a passionate feel about it. So where someone feels as a life code 7 that they can get passionate about something, they will often stay longer than another life code would do, regardless of their awareness. So even as an unaware life code 7, Rachel is going to be driven by her emotions. So how does this relate to the ex-fiance relationship kind of thing that she's in at the moment as that life code 4? Well, I suspect in this kind of dynamic, what this person likes is to feel adored. Okay, so Rachel gives him the attention, and therefore as that life code 4, and he feels adored as that unaware life code 4. Part of this triangle that he's creating will be, as that life code 4, as an unaware life code 4 around love, will be his inclination will be towards the person that shows him the most love, because as a life code 4, love is their theme throughout their lifetime. So this is why I suspect it bounces between Rachel and the ex-wife, who's a life code 3. Now life code 3s are very patient, I suspect, in this love relationship. He likes to be adored. He's still around the ex-wife as that life code 3, because life code 3s are very loyal. There's a strong loyalty factor within that, and I suspect that the ex-wife feels that if she shows him love, then she can have him back. But then when he goes back into that and it all relaxes into the normal scenario, he then goes into the whole, but I want to feel adored, which is why he then goes back to Rachel. I strongly suspect that that's the dynamic in terms of these 3 life codes. So let's have a little look to see how that matches. Okay, so what can we learn from this? What can we learn? Well, quite often, if something's not working out in our life, we kind of assume that somehow or another, it's, especially around relationships, we assume, especially sensitives, that somehow it's our fault, that we have to do something better, that we have to be more adoring, more patient, more keep a mouth shut when someone does something that upsets us. All of those things, assuming that somehow or another, excuse me, it must be our fault. We must be the reason for it not going right. Rather than even think about the idea that it actually could be the other person's needs and desires, as in how they operate in life in general, as to the reason why something isn't altogether working out. Okay, so let's have a look through the archetypes and see whether I'm right. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so first of all, I think we'll look at the ex-fiancé as that life code 4 and see what he's up to. Okay, let's see whether I'm right on this one. So I'm thinking about him, and let's have a little look. Okay, so what we have is the rebel. Okay, so that gives us an inclination right away that I would say I'm right in terms of that this guy likes the adoration. He likes the adoration of 2 women in different forms, even if they're shouting at him or they're not altogether happy with him. It still makes him feel wanted, this adoration kind of thing. And this rebel energy would highlight that. Okay, so he doesn't want anything that's conventional. Okay, so as far as a relationship is concerned, you find that he likes this feeling that this is unconventional, that he's got these 2 women kind of warring over him, metaphorically, even though they don't know each other. So let's see what the ex-wife is up to. Why is she still kind of involved with this man? Let's have a look. So I'm thinking about her rather, and let's see what we get as far as she's concerned. See if I'm right as far as that's concerned. Okay. Which I am kind of right. So what we have here, as far as she's concerned, is the beggar. Okay. So how she sees it is, it's literally that in terms of that archetype. Beggars can't be choosers. I would say her self-esteem has been mangled through this relationship and this man's lack of ability over the years to feel that he will commit properly to a situation. So her self-esteem is low, and therefore this will be the reason as to why, with that beggar energy, as the reason why she accepts him back. So each time he's allowed back into that picture. Okay, so Rachel, who is asking the question, okay, so she's asking the question, so she's the one who's in this relationship with him at the moment. So let's see what's going on as far as she's concerned. Now we're looking from an unconscious perspective. So as an example, this ex-wife, with this beggar energy going on underneath, she may not show that outwardly. She might show that she's angry or she's cross or that she sort of pulls at the strings, so to speak, just to kind of get her point across. But actually the undertone of that is that she feels that her worthiness, sense of self-worth, is low, hence the reason that she doesn't move on. Okay, this guy, as in the centre of this love triangle, he's not a commitment kind of fellow. He doesn't want to commit. He's got this rebel here. He doesn't want anything that's conventional. And so he'll say all the right things to make something conventional, and each time he'll then disrupt it, looking at this picture. So let's see what Rachel really wants. Okay, so we'll look at her energy in terms of the unconscious and see, okay, what does she really want? Does she really want someone who's committed and steady, or does she really actually quite like the constant dynamic and the constant kind of feeling of exuberant passion, or always wondering where this guy is, if he's going to come back, what he's going to do, all of those kind of things that are around this type of relationship. Okay, so let's have a look what the real Rachel wants. Okay, so I'm thinking about that, so let's have a look at what the real Rachel wants from a relationship. Okay, let's have a look. Interesting. We've got the rescuer. Okay, that's interesting. So, what does that mean in terms of that dynamic? It's a little bit of a surprise. Okay, and in terms of what I would be looking at, a little bit of a surprise. The rescuer is very common to a sensitive person. You want to rescue, solve, and make things okay. So what Rachel's undertone, so in terms of her unconscious undertone, is she wants to rescue this man from his own stupidity, basically, or his own kind of rebellion. She wants to save him. She wants to save him, save part of him, save part of who he is, from his own destruction. Okay, so this is what her unconscious can see as far as this relationship is concerned. That'd be why she wants him. Now, the issue is that when we see this rescuer, and especially in terms of this life code 7, which is, very much the rescuer energy in terms of a triangle situation. 7s are perfect as being the rescuer, the person who solves, makes it all okay, and all of that kind of stuff. And the issue is, when you're a rescuer, you are the one that gets the blame. Because when someone wants to be the persecutor, or someone wants to be the victim, okay, that's the victim, every time you rescue them, they switch into the persecutor, so the one who then attacks you. Hence the reason why Rachel's got this situation where he then says that he accuses her of being the reason why they're not together, and goes back to his ex-wife. So she's in this pattern of this rescuer. So why, as a sensitive, would she get so caught up in this rescuer, and that it's a difficult cycle to break? Well, partly it will be because part of her psyche will expect a man, and this will be a deeper thing going on, will expect a man to not be there for her. Will expect a man to not be there for her, maybe sometimes physically, but certainly emotionally. And that will go back further in her life, probably quite a long way back, and where she then needs to think, who was the first man in her life that she felt emotionally let her down? And that will be the first person that she associates love with. So she will be assuming that anything to do with love and worth keeping is going to be a relationship where she has to save them from themselves. So is this a long-term scenario? So her question is, are we going to get back together and stay together forever? Well, this is a typical codependent pattern running. So I suspect that Rachel will, while she's still got that active rescuer, try desperately to have him back, will be so upset, really upset, desperately upset inside if he's then gone again, and will wait for the day when he returns and all of this kind of thing. And that cycle could go on for a very long time, because the ex-wife is not going to release him anytime soon, because her energy is someone whose self-worth is in tatters. Is he going to change? Absolutely not. I can tell you that now. Because if it wasn't the ex-wife, it would be someone else that he's playing this dynamic with. Because he's running this kind of pattern. So Rachel would do well to tackle her own rescuer energy, the fear, the desperation of the panic about feeling left by this person that she then associates love with. But most importantly, I would say, in order to really feel calm about this, I would say she needs to go back in her life to ascertain who was the first person, first male, who let her down emotionally, and to discover what pain around that she still holds in herself. She only needs to discover it to release it. That's the beauty of a sensitive. The beauty of a sensitive is that things might be painful to hold in your life, but at the same time, you are brilliant at your ability to, once you understand that, understand what you're holding, you are brilliant, much more capable than the average person of letting that go and healing it and moving on. And I strongly suspect that if Rachel was able to access that energy from past in her life around that male, she will then feel, actually, what am I doing? This person is wrecking my sense of well-being, sense of worth, and I'm focusing a lot on this, and when actually I just want someone decent and calm, and I don't want to carry this rescuer anymore because it's too much like hard work. So what can we learn from Rachel's situation? Well, we can learn that actually sometimes it isn't the situation that's immediately before us that's causing us the emotional pain. It can be something that happened a long time previously, and this current situation just reflects that pain from back and beyond. And that if we can see a current situation as what it's trying to tell us, in terms of helping us, that the moment we can tap into that is the moment of relief. So that's the end of this episode of the Sensitive Mind Show. If you've enjoyed it and found it helpful, do share it with your friends. So to be sure to join me next week, where I will look forward to giving you an alternative perspective on your relationship dilemmas. Bye for now, and let me leave you with this.
For more great free content designed to support your purchase of my book, Highly Intuitive People, 7 Right Brain Traits to Change the Lives of Intuitive Sensitive People, please visit finallyfeelunderstood.com. There you can subscribe and download for free the meditation specific to today's episode. If you have already read the book, then it's time for you to receive exclusive access and support from me and your fellow intuitive sensitives as we go deeper together along this proven 7-step path by joining us in my monthly membership program called Heidi's Circle. There you can ask me anything in a safe and private environment, and I will answer you live. Join us today by visiting healmyinnerworld.com.